Hey guys, Will the Aspie here. Coming back with another video about random topics because I'm bored. I'm not working today because I guess my boss or supervisor, he is going on vacation somewhere. I don't know where, but he's gone until the 15th. So I don't know what, it's the 10th. So 5 more days of not working. So just staying here alone in my house most of the days. So I figured that I would shoot another video um, to try to help people, or at least get some of the stuff I need to talk about out where people can hear it instead of just isolating, which is what I've been doing for the past few years because I don't trust people and I hate people because they have took advantage of me, but and led me down the wrong path, by the way. Doing stuff I don't want to do, that they kind of influenced me to do. So, we're going to talk about hobbies for people with Asperger's. So, people with Asperger's will have hobbies, but they might only have a few of them. My hobbies have changed a lot over the years, like interests or hobbies have changed a lot. When I was little, like most kids, I was interested in Legos and Nerf guns, and then in my early teenage years, like airsoft guns and stuff like that. I used to hunt when I was younger, but I don't hunt anymore. I just lost interest in it, and but I guess people with Asperger's will have some strange hobbies. Um, a lot of kids nowadays are interested in that anime stuff, which is like just like Japanese animated cartoon things. I'm not interested in it. I know nothing about anime. But some people are obsessed with it. I never really got into that. Um, Video games were my forte, though. I played video games for a good 5 years. I'm starting to play video games again now because I have nothing to do because I'm not working this week. So for something to do, I just play video games. And I find it, even though I might get frustrated, it's something to do and occupy my time with. I'm not doing much else. I could talk to people all day. I could socialize. I could go out to places where you socialize, but I'm not about that. I never really was. So, I'd much rather play video games and just go to the mall or something, or I'd rather not do that, because I'm not a social person, and people, they don't like me. Whenever they see me, they say, I don't like that kid, because he's weird, or whatever. I never tell anyone that I have Asperger's syndrome, and they still know that something's wrong with me. Right now, I don't seem very mental or weird, but I'm just talking. My body language is just clumsy. I don't like to look at people in the eye. I've said that countless times. I just don't. But this video is about hobbies, so I'll focus on that. So, some of my hobbies when I was younger is rocks and fossils and crystals and stuff like that. I was really interested in that stuff for a while. And then, so there's rocks, fossils, crystals. There was, of course, Legos, Nerf guns, and stuff like that. And then, I used to go metal detecting. I still do have a metal detector. I haven't used it in quite a while. I just ran out of places to go and dig up the dirt. Metal detecting, you'd think metal detecting is a hobby for like really old people that are retired. And I used to metal detect for a long time because it got me alone. And some people say being alone is a bad thing, but not for me. It just gives me some alone time to think, process stuff, and have no stress. And it can also make you depressed and lonely, and it does do that to me, but I don't really care because people don't get me. That's just how it is. Um, I'm not the best person, anyways. I have problems. Um, I do kind of want to go metal detecting, but I don't have any spots to go. Um, I found quite a lot of cool stuff metal detecting. Well, not mostly junk. I'd find a lot of old shotgun shells, the paper kind, with no, with the hulls that would have just rotted off because they're paper. And then it leaves a little piece of a paper plug in the bottom that doesn't really rot. And uh, the brass bottom is all you'd find with the metal detector. And a lot of them are from the late 1890s and early 1900s. Some of them are from the 1950s and stuff like that. But so I'd find a lot of those shotgun shells, and I'd find some bullets, fired bullets themselves, the tips of bullets that hunters have fired. I've found a lot of those. I've found a little bit of change and coins and stuff. One time when I was up at this one lake that's near my house, I found a silver ring, and I took it to like this gold exchange place, and they said it was worth like $1. But I still don't believe that. I think they were trying to rip me off, to be quite frank. Um, anyways, so that's probably the best thing I found was that silver ring. I also found one wheat penny. I've only ever found one wheat penny, and it was like in 1939 or something like that. Um, I found mostly just bullets and shells, and because where I'm metal detectors is in the woods, so of course there's gonna be a lot of artifacts from hunters over the years. I found some arrows, aluminum arrows. I found a bunch of them. Uh, Very few coins in those woods. I found like some nails and horseshoes and stuff because the neighbor that lives there has horses and they have a little area in the woods that they can roam around. So, yeah. So metal detecting was a hobby for me, and I should get back into it, but I'm not a social person, so I can't just go up to people and say, "Can I metal detect in your yard?" I don't do that. If I did, they would probably say no, and even if they said yes, I'd probably be very awkward because I don't like dealing with people. I'm actually kind of happy that I don't have to go to school anymore and deal with everyone that I dealt with then. Um, it's just a lot of stress off me. Uh, but another hobby of mine or interest is cars. Cars, older cars. My car is not an old car. Well, it's kind of old. It's like 13 or 14 years old, and it's a Nissan Pathfinder. And it's an SUV. It's not the best on gas mileage, by the way, but I don't care. It has a decent amount of power engine. Can fit 5 people. Has a hatch in the back. I guess that's a hatch that goes up. I guess that's called a hatch. And it's the paint color is actually burnt copper. So it's not a very common paint color, but I don't care. I'm probably gonna get some wax and wax it so it looks a little better. Um, and it has a flat black hood. I don't know why. It just came with a flat black hood. But so I guess these things are the only weird thing I'd say is the metal detecting, because you never hear about a young man being interested in metal detecting. That's just something that usually old people do. But I'm not old. I'm young. You know. Um, I don't know. Maybe that's. I don't know. I used to belong to this metal detecting club, and they're all in their 40s and up. Like the youngest guy was in his 40s. So that tells you something that just old people are into metal detecting. Um, so, metal detecting and stuff like that. Um, an interest or hobby I have is also primitive living. Um, I don't know how to describe it. Just like an old way of living, like living off the land, maybe living off the grid, maybe just knowing what plants and you can eat. You know, plants and animals. Well, you know what animals you can eat. You can eat technically you can eat a lot of different animals, but some of them I wouldn't eat, like cats and dogs. I would never eat a cat or dog. Uh, Even if I was starving, I probably wouldn't. I just wouldn't have it in me. Maybe I would. Uh, but just like in some cases, the government doesn't let you uh, live off the grid because of the zoning crap and all that. Those laws that they have in place, they'll go after you. Um, I just hate the government. The government is just it controls you. It tells you what you can and can't do. The government is like a Nazi. It's like Hitler. Uh, but I don't know. I kind of I've been thinking a lot of moving to Hawaii or Texas or Florida or something like that. Um, Probably couldn't go alone. I'd probably have to live there with someone like a roommate. Probably not a girl. Probably not a girl. I've not had much luck with girls over the years, and I don't really care. Um, um, because that's all history, you know. I talk about girls a lot because I don't know why I do. I don't know why I talk about how girls have hurt me over the years, except for they have. That's just a fact. I might sound kind of annoying when I say that, but that's how strongly I feel about it. Because a woman is supposed to be loyal to you. A woman is not supposed to play games. Uh, but there's so many young women that just they don't care about morals. They don't care about the old way of living. They care about their whatever girls care about nowadays. I'm not in sync with society. Sure, I have Snapchat. Sure, I'm on YouTube. Sure, I know how to do things that like 70-year-old people don't know how to do, or even 60-year-old people for that matter. A lot of them have flip phones. A lot of older people have flip phones, and they don't know how to use the internet that well. But I'm not making fun of them. I'm just stating a fact, you know. So I'm kind of better than them in. It's getting dark in here. I'm gonna turn on this lamp. The technology matter, but too much technology I think is a bad thing because it gets you away from nature. You aren't supposed to go to a grocery store to get your food. If grocery stores didn't exist and there was no stores around at all, you would have to go out in nature and harvest food from nature. It's true. But people don't do that nowadays. Some people still hunt. Some people still gather wild edibles and food. But a lot of people don't. And I think if you live more naturally, you'll feel a lot better. That's just what I think. It's really hard to disconnect from the system that we live in nowadays. Um, there's laws that don't let you do that. Um, like I said, the living off the land, living off the grid laws about the zoning crap and all that stuff. It limits a lot of people, and it's they can take your land away from you. They can do whatever they want because they're the government. You know. Uh, America really isn't land of the free. It's land of the slaves. Uh, that's just what I think. Um, but so those were my hobbies that I talked about. I don't have very much other things I'm interested in because Aspies generally have limited interests, but their interests will change over the years, just like anyone else. But they just have limited interests. So that's about it, guys. Hope you enjoyed my little rambling. You probably didn't, but I just shoot these videos because it helps me get out some things I need to talk about. So that's it, guys. See you later.